you don't want to, happen to have stepped on where he was going, when he takes flight. You want to be able to see where he's going and not interfere or get in the way.
He was the man who made the world laugh, but Sally Field saw the man behind the mask. In a rare and deeply moving revelation, Field has opened up about what Robin Williams was really like behind the scenes of Mrs. Doubtfire. What she shares isn't just surprising, it's heartbreaking, human, and unforgettable. Why did Williams stop production for her? What did she witness on set that no one else saw? And why is she only telling this story now? A spark beyond the laughter. When Sally Field first met Robin Williams, it wasn't on a red carpet or at a high-profile event. It was on a set that would soon become sacred ground for both of them. Mrs. Doubtfire, the 1993 family comedy, was their first collaboration. And from the moment they stood across from each other in costume, something clicked. Field wasn't just meeting a co-star. She was meeting a whirlwind of energy wrapped in a warm, funny, and profoundly present man. From the very beginning, Robin's energy was impossible to ignore. He was electric, unpredictable in the best way. One moment, he was deeply focused on a scene. The next, he was spinning into a completely improvised tangent, throwing in accents, facial expressions, and lines that made the entire crew break into laughter. For many actors, working with someone like Robin could have been overwhelming. But Sally Field wasn't just any actress. She didn't try to control his rhythm, she flowed with it. Where others might have found the chaos challenging, she found it invigorating. Instead of trying to match his brilliance, Field grounded it. She responded to his outburst with calm, steady emotion, giving their scenes a sense of reality, even amid the absurdity. The result? A chemistry that felt completely natural. Audiences believed they were once married, not because the script said so, but because their performances felt honest, alive. Their ability to challenge and complement each other became the heart of the film. Off-camera, something more subtle began to grow. Their bond wasn't loud or performative. It was built on mutual admiration. Robin respected Sally's discipline, and she saw through his comedic facade to the deeply thoughtful man beneath. What began as a working relationship turned into a quiet friendship, full of trust, laughter, and a rare kind of emotional understanding. And yet, as magnetic as Robin was on set, Sally would soon learn that the real magic, the part no one got to see, happened when the spotlight was turned off. Improvisation, intuition, and impact.
He's Robin. It's just so much fun. You never get bored, ever.
Robin Williams had a method to his madness, and those who worked with him quickly learned to expect the unexpected. His so-called three-take rule was legendary. For the first few takes, he stuck to the script, hitting every line just as written. It was disciplined, deliberate. But once those 3 takes were done, the transformation began. Robin would throw out the page and unleash a storm of comedic invention, shifting lines, voices, and expressions in ways no one could predict. This wasn't just chaos for the sake of laughs. It was creativity at its purest. And Sally Field didn't fight it, she flowed with it. She understood something crucial. Robin wasn't trying to show off. He was trying to find something real. While others might have tried to compete with his speed, Sally did something far more powerful. She listened. She reacted. Her responses weren't calculated. They were honest. And that's what made their scenes together so unforgettable. Rather than trying to anchor the scene with control, Sally brought emotional weight. When Robin flew off the page, she brought him back to the heart of the story, not by pulling him down, but by meeting him where he was. It was a balancing act that worked beautifully. He brought the fire. She brought the foundation. That push and pull gave their performances a sense of spontaneity and truth that audiences could feel, even if they didn't know why. But what happened when life, not a script, threw Sally Field into a real moment of grief on set? A moment of grace. Behind the camera, it was supposed to be just another day on the set of Mrs. Doubtfire. The team was preparing for a heavy courtroom scene, the kind of emotionally charged moment that required every bit of focus and control. Sally Field was already bracing herself, not just for the performance, but for something much harder. A phone call had come just moments earlier. Her father had died. He had been in a nursing facility after suffering a stroke years prior, and Sally had made the heartbreaking decision to take him off life support. Yet here she was, back on set, trying to hold herself together. A two-time Oscar-winning actress, trained to push through pain, to deliver the moment no matter what was happening inside. She didn't cry. She didn't break. But she was unraveling quietly, privately, or so she thought.
In a new interview with Vanity Fair, Mrs. Doubtfire's co-star Sally Field recalls how the legendary comic changed their production schedule when she learned of her father's sudden passing.
Robin Williams noticed immediately. He wasn't performing when he walked over to her trailer. He wasn't playing a role. He was just a friend who could see something wasn't right. Without fanfare, without a single joke, he knocked gently and asked, "Are you okay?" Sally told him the truth. Her father had just passed. And in that moment, the laughter that usually filled the set fell silent. Robin didn't wait for instructions. He didn't ask for permission. He acted. "We need to get you out of here right now," he said with quiet urgency.
Came on the set trying with all my might to act. I wasn't crying. Robin came over, pulled me out of the set, and asked, "Are you okay?" "No, I'm not, Robin. My father just passed." Robin then arranged so she could go home and make funeral arrangements, adding, quote, "It's a side of Robin that people rarely knew. He was very sensitive and intuitive."
And that moment stayed with Sally forever. Because sometimes the most unforgettable acts of love happen when no one else is watching. A legacy rooted in kindness. Robin Williams' talent was undeniable, but what truly set him apart wasn't what he did on screen. It was how he treated people when the cameras were off. He didn't just charm audiences, he made people feel seen. Whether you were a fellow actor or a set assistant holding a light, Robin made time for you. He remembered names, asked about your family, cracked a joke when tension was high, or quietly checked in when he sensed someone was off. It wasn't performative, it wasn't for show. It was just who he was. Crew members have shared stories of Robin chatting with makeup artists over lunch, sitting with grips during long breaks, and wandering off to lift someone's spirits with a quiet word or a funny face. He made the effort to connect, no matter someone's status. To him, everyone mattered. That kind of presence, rare, unforced, and full of warmth, created a working environment that felt more like family than film production. But here's the tragic truth. Even the kindest souls often carry the heaviest burdens. And Robin Williams' final chapter was marked by a silent battle he never fully understood, and few ever saw coming. The hidden pain no one saw. For decades, Robin Williams had been the heartbeat of joy in millions of homes, but in his final years, the pulse of that joy began to slow. After the cancellation of his show The Crazy Ones, which failed to meet expectations despite his return to television, Robin felt something slipping. For a man whose identity had always been tied to his ability to light up a room, the rejection hit hard. Coupled with a painful divorce and the complexities of starting over in a new marriage, he found himself in a fragile emotional state, one that even his closest friends struggled to fully grasp. Then came the medical diagnosis: Parkinson's disease. For someone known for his quick mind and physical expressiveness, the news was devastating. Parkinson's meant a slow decline, tremors, stiffness, and eventually the loss of the very tools he used to communicate with the world. Robin tried to stay hopeful, to adapt, to keep going. But something about the diagnosis didn't quite fit. He wasn't just slowing down physically, his mind was changing too. What no one realized at the time, not even Robin himself, was that the real enemy wasn't Parkinson's. It was something far crueler: Lewy body dementia. This rare and aggressive brain disorder causes memory loss, confusion, hallucinations, and wild mood swings. It's relentless. It robs its victims of their clarity, their stability, and eventually their sense of self. In his final days, Robin became more anxious, more withdrawn. Friends noticed he was different. His once sharp memory faltered. His hands shook. His confidence faded. But to the world, he was still Robin Williams. He was still expected to smile, perform, inspire. He wore that mask until the very end, and behind that mask, a storm raged silently. On August 11, 2014, the world stood still. Robin Williams had taken his own life in his California home. The shock was immediate and overwhelming. How could someone who gave so much light be lost to such darkness? Robin Williams wasn't just a comedian, he was a lifeline to so many. For Sally Field, he wasn't just a co-star, he was a protector, a friend, a rare soul. What he gave to others was real, not scripted, not rehearsed. If this story touched you, like, comment, and subscribe for more untold truths about the stars we thought we knew. And don't miss our next deep dive, because behind every performance, there's a person with a story waiting to be told.